All right, good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday. It's always a crapshoot whether I'm going to get the day right or not, and we're a little bit back to normal. I actually have been out and going to work some, but what day of the week it is can be tough. So welcome to this Thursday morning. If you're live, it is time to start our 15 minutes. We'll actually have 18 minutes of breath work today. So go ahead and get into some sort of comfortable position. Whatever's available to you is the best. So if you're at work and you're doing this from work and sprawling out isn't particularly appropriate, get in a chair that works for you. And sometimes just leaning on your desk or a table is the best we can do. So get comfortable, take a nice deep breath, exhale with a bit of a ha breath. And then do two more of those. It's in through your nose, out with a little ha. Actually, let's just keep a couple more of those going today. It's not so you can hear this big sigh as a letdown. It's a ha breath. It's clear air coming through your throat. For me, it's that sound that signifies that my time here has begun, my practice has begun. A few more of those just to pick up that audible cue, that audible feedback of what your breath is doing. How is your breath? We move into the breath practice, and you very often hear me, others say, without judgment. So as you find something's going on in the room, something with your breath, something with your body, just put a label on it. Itchy foot, nose blocked, without any judgment, just label it. Let's begin breathing in through your nose and out through an imaginary straw. And stay with that breath for a while. Ultimately, this breath is a tool. You'll hear me call it vagus nerve breathing. It's the breath that uses what's going on in the gut and the diaphragm and the heart to inform the brain that it's time to relax. But let's check in with that breath and see what we can learn from it. You're narrowing the passage of your mouth, the passage of the air, enough so that the exhale is allowed to slow down a little bit. Does that breath have a feeling? Perhaps it's cool air on your lips. Maybe it has a sound. Check in with the inhales that are all through the nose. How is your inhale at this breath? Without putting any restraints or constraints on the nostrils, can you feel a difference between the left and the right? And the answer may be no. Check in with the length of the inhales versus the exhales. We're very often taught to have your length of your exhale equal the length of your inhale. And if you happen to come in a state of very rapid breathing, that would be wise. But as we calm farther, we allow the exhales to get even longer. And at that point in which the exhales are double the length of the inhales, not because you forced them to be, just because that's what naturally occurs, at that point, begin breathing all through your nose. To help that vagus nerve along, we very often focus on 3 other cranial nerves to help us. They do a little bit of the work. Facial nerve will help. Can you get the muscles of your face absolutely relaxed? Even the furrow between the brow, the squinty eyes, even the puckery lips. Your oculomotor nerve, the nerve that moves your eyes. Can you either close your eyes or keep them open, if that's better for you, but get your eyes in a steady gaze? So even if you're looking at the backs of your eyelids, your eyes are looking straight ahead. For those of you who have your eyes open, you may notice that I don't do that. It's because we're also on Zoom and I'm watching people across the top of the screen. But eyes in a steady gaze. Is there something out in front of you, perhaps 3 feet, 6 feet? We check in with the glossopharyngeal nerve. What's going on with the muscles of the mouth? Is your tongue relaxed? Maybe it's slid forward, maybe it's slid back. Still a clear passage of air coming through your throat if you're tempted to constrict. If you're tempted to practice other forms of yogic breathing, ujjayi, there's a throat lock. Not here. To stay in this calm, we can check in. Are my exhales, let's do better than that. Was this exhale twice as long as the inhale? Check in with the inhale. Air comes in through your nose. Perhaps you can feel it as it moves down your throat. And we're not focusing on big, deep breaths, but perhaps you can still feel the chest rise and fall just a little. If you're in a position to put one hand on your chest and one hand just below the ribs on your belly, you'll now be able to feel your breath through your hands. As you inhale, there will be a natural rise of the belly. we'll stay in this calm breath. Reminders are the tools that you have. If your mind wanders, come back, perhaps to the straw. If you hear a sound or something in the distance startles you, come back to the straw breath. Reminders, face muscles relaxed, eyes in a steady gaze, even if they're looking at the backs of your eyelids. Jaw, tongue, throat, relaxed. Many ways to stay with the breath. Perhaps it's the thought, the mantra, in, out. In movement practices, in yoga, we always say that breath precedes movement. So instead of saying the word in to initiate your breath, allow your breath to start and then say in. If your hand's still on the belly, the breath will start and you'll feel the movement in your belly. As breath draws in, label it as in. As you passively exhale, label it as out. Perhaps your focus is on the feeling of breath. Perhaps that's air in the back of your throat, in and out. Perhaps that's a sensation, a felt sensation through your hand on belly or chest. Perhaps check in with the timing of the breath. It's on your own count. There's no real beat to this music. Don't try to make it in for 4, out for 8, in for 12, out for 24. You're on your own timing, so you may just count your inhale as 4, and at the same pace, how is your exhale? How is your breath when we don't force it to conform? Perhaps you found an external sound, a sound in the music. Check in there if that works for you. Perhaps there's one note, one instrument, one strike of the gong, the bowl. Can you find that sound and wait for it to repeat? If you are still able to sit in relaxation, please do so. If you're not able to do so, give another inhale and exhale with that little sigh breath, signaling that your time in breath practice and relaxation is complete. If you are live and in Eastern time, it is 8:21 and time to get on with the morning perhaps. I thank you all for joining me today. Good to see you. And I will be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Appreciate you guys being here. Have a great day.